Hey, what's up, everyone? I'm Reactor, and this is Quinn. Today's article comes from phys.org. I don't know. It's titled, Nearly Half the World Lives on Less Than $5.50 a Day. World Bank.
Half the world.
Nearly half the world.
$5.50 US dollars?
Yeah.
USD?
I assume they're trying to put it into perspective for us. Because they really probably live on like 1,000.
Of like whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Some country could be 1,000.
Yeah. It's the same numbers that we usually deal with. Like poor people here make like what, 3,000 a month, right?
No, I think it's more like 1,000, less than 1,000.
Yeah, I don't think you could live on that. All like roommates and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, despite progress in reducing extreme poverty, nearly half the world's population lives on less than $5.50 a day, with a rising share of the poor in wealthier economies, the World Bank said Wednesday. I was going to say Monday. In a twice-yearly report, the bank took a broader look at poverty to see where countries were lagging, even though the share of those living in extreme poverty, defined as earning less than $1.90 a day, has continued to come down in recent years. Under the expanded criteria for poverty, the report found the number of poor worldwide was still unacceptably high, while the fruits of economic growth were shared unevenly across regions and countries. Even though a global growth of recent years has been sluggish, the total count of people in poverty declined by more than 68 million people between 2013 and 2015. Declined more than 68 million? Wow, that's a lot.
Poverty decline, meaning like, oh, someone made 2 cents more an hour than 1 cent, so everything's looking great.
Yeah, no, they all became millionaires. 68 million people became wealthy.
Oh, became wealthy?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
A number roughly equivalent to the population of Thailand or the United Kingdom. So the United Kingdom isn't poor anymore? Despite the improvement, the report said current trends indicated the World Bank's goal of reducing extreme poverty to less than 3% of the world's population by 2030 may be unattainable. Reducing to less than 3% of the world's population?
That would mean there would be tons of people that are really healthy making a lot more babies. Then what do you do with all those babies?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a never-ending cycle.
Yeah, this is insane. Like, well, if there's no more poverty, then there can't be any more wealth. You know? It's like a double-edged sword. You take away one, you take away the other.
Really, really, really wealthy people would just become even, more separate from everybody else.
If no one was poor anymore?
I mean, there's always going to be someone that's got money or some wealth.
No, not if we switch to a socialist government.
What about the person?
Then everyone will have the same amount of money.
What about the person that has like part of their basement full of gold and silver bricks? They've just been saving for a special occasion or something.
Well, in a socialist economy, I don't think gold is valuable at all.
They just probably wouldn't use it, you're saying?
Yeah, you don't use gold.
Yeah.
They print their own money. Where was I? Do you remember?
I do not, Dave.
Continued decent, 68%. Despite the improvement, the report said current trends indicated the World Bank's goal of reducing extreme poverty to less than 3% by the world's... I already read that. Particularly distressing findings are that extreme poverty is becoming entrenched in a handful of countries and that the pace of poverty reduction will soon decelerate significantly, the report said. At the $5.50 a day threshold, global poverty fell to 46% and 67% between 1990 and 2015. Fell to 46 from 67. The bank reported last month that extreme poverty had fallen 10% in 2015. Like,
what's extreme poverty?
Yeah,
in this
$0
article writer's opinion.
Like, debt is poverty, right?
Right. I think there could be people that look very, what would you call it, affluent, but they're in a dire financial situation. They smell good, they look good, they may even drive a Ferrari.
They're borrowing every cent they can.
But they're like, I owe $800 million.
With China's rise, East Asia and Pacific saw a 60-point drop in the poverty rate to 35%. But the region is unlikely to continue to achieve that pace going forward as growth has moderated. What, China's getting rid of their poverty? Is that what they're saying?
I don't know.
And poverty is becoming entrenched in sub-Saharan Africa, where 84.5% of the population still live on less than 550 a day, the report said. Really? Sub-Saharan Africa, like South Africa, right?
I think I know what you can do with the 550. You get like 4 homies, you put all your 550 together.
Oh yeah, how much is rent in these
You
places?
got $21 there. You take that 21 and you do something smart with it, like go to a store. You cook your own food. Don't just go to the local pub or bar or whatever and blow that money on appetizers and pints and whatever.
I think what they're missing out on, what they're not understanding is that what is poverty if you're not part of the global economy? You know? Sub-Saharan Africa is like a lot of small communities that live off land, right? So does it like does the World Bank, I'm sure, wants to bring everyone in on this whole debt, cycle that's being spun around the globe. So
they're just trying to like fit everybody into this whole article that's trying to give some like positive reinforcement that the world's not as screwed up as it potentially is.
And I'm also wondering what the hell the World Bank is. Like a global bank? Like those bankers have to be corrupt.
Right.
What are you in charge of? Like, what is this?
This is just a big, super generalized article trying to say that the world's not as impoverished and crappy as it is. And
no, they're saying they are poor.
You can survive on $5.50 a day. Look, they do it. So it's not so bad. And poverty's going to extreme poverty. What is that?
Look, what I was going to say is if I was living in the woods by myself, right, off the grid,
right,
and someone was sending $5.50 a day into my bank account,
right,
it doesn't even matter. I'm not spending money. I'm living off land.
Well,
so poverty is a moot point. It's like irrelevant.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like in Africa, you've got like tribes of people. They live in these like villages that aren't even really like, they're just rural, and they're some of them are just like out there fighting lions all day. That's their job.
That's what I was saying. Like, so if they're not part of the whole debt system that's the World Bank enjoys,
right,
then like some guy living in the mountains of Montana, or are there mountains in Montana? Of Utah,
I think so. Living
off land.
Yeah.
He's got animals all around him. He's not poor. He's got all kinds of resources. Money's not one that he needs.
It's yeah.
So then the World Bank's going to be like writing reports saying, "Oh, we got to get this guy some debt. He doesn't have debt." You know?
So I mean,
or do they consider him wealthy for not being in debt?
You're definitely wealthy if you're not in debt, and
yeah,
everything's built on getting you in debt.
All right, 2 more sentences. Let's finish this up. And while 2 decades ago, 60% of the global population lived in low-income countries, by 2015 that had fallen to 9%. The World Bank also cautioned that in many of those countries, the poor were not sharing equally in economic growth.
Yeah, well, that's great. 30% of the time I like donuts, 60% of the time I don't, and 10% of the time I don't care. And all these statistics and numbers are just complete shit because who cares? You can't gauge poverty as extreme or not extreme. It's probably, it's terrible if you have to live on $5 or less a day. And what about the people that live on $1 a day? What about those people? That's
because they
more
don't
than extreme.
These people live off the land,
right.
So $1 a day is probably fine for them. I mean, they're doing it. That's why it's like economies balance themselves, based on what people are willing to accept.
Right.
So if people in America started saying, I don't care, I need money, I don't know how to get it, I'll work for $1 an hour, that's what prices would go to. Well, although we have minimum wage, which is
right.
Totally ridiculous.
So let me ask you something. In your wilderness survival situation, what do you have on you? Let's say
no, you're just happily living with your family in the wilderness.
Well, I know I could do that, but if you were in the what's one thing you would take if you were on like a show where you could bring one thing with you?
A house? I would build a house.
Well, like one item that you could carry with you. You could carry one item out to this place where you're going to survive. What would you bring?
An axe? I don't know.
Okay, all right, that's cool.
No, you would buy whatever you want and go. Or just, I mean, yeah, I guess you have to buy stuff like an axe and then go into the woods and start your life. But
right.
What do you need? $20? You and your wife can build a house.
I would
trees.
You know what I would
you
bring
don't need
is
money.
I'd bring a mask, like a scuba gear mask, so I could spearfish, so I could see in the water and spearfish. and I would build a spear out of wood.
I would
would
bring a plane so that I could fly around looking for birds to shoot down and eat.
Oh, like a glider?
No, like a fighter jet.
Oh, yeah. That's not
Blowing birds up out of the air. One bullet.
mean-
Like, what is it, like 50 cal? I don't know.
Yeah, it sounds pretty nasty.
Yeah, but you have anything else you want to say?
Nope.
All right, well, that's it for the video. Let us know what you think. Leave a comment. Like the video if you enjoyed it. And feel free to check out our Patreon link in the description. We do this for free, so any help is appreciated. Thanks for watching.